So I'm recording this halfway through January of 2022, but already in 2022, I've run into a lot of situations that make me want to leave the country. Here in the United States, we don't treat each other very well. So I had a frustrating situation one day, and I was very depressed. And I took a walk to take my mind off of it. And you can imagine when you're depressed, you're not walking very quickly. I would get to a crosswalk, and the light would turn red before I finished crossing, and people just honked at me like crazy. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, it's one thing that I had something on my mind, but, you know, it could very well be somebody is disabled, right, and walking very slowly, and you honking at them is not going to cure their disability, right? Anyway, that just, it just added to the frustration that I was already dealing with that day. Fortunately, the situation has resolved itself, and, you know, I'm walking a lot more normally now, but I had a very frustrating situation. Now, I was talking to, I do private tutoring, and one day after the lesson, I was just chit-chatting with one of my students who I get along with very well. He's a high school age student, and I'm talking about how badly people get treated for being happily single, because he likes his single life too. And I asked him that to kind of join the fight with me. And I was talking about how at my previous workplace, how people would a lot of people would bum vacation time from me, right? We had a policy where we could give vacation time to a colleague in need, and how the other direction doesn't seem to work very well, right? Imagine I try to ask my colleague for vacation time so that I can, you know, do stuff that single people love to do. That would not go very well, right? In fact, HR might not even like the idea that I asked for vacation time for stuff like that, right? So I was telling my tutoring client how all my colleagues bum vacation time from me. I didn't say it like that, but something to that effect. And my student thought, he asked, you know, what did I get in return for? He thought I got some kind of sexual favor, because I told my student now my colleagues would bum vacation time when they needed maternity leave after having a child, and he thought that I got some sexual favor out of the women that I gave the vacation time to. Anyway, okay, and then the tutoring itself. See, I have students who like to schedule all over the place. And you got a client, let's say I have a client who wants to see me at 6 to 7, and it's on Zoom, right? And really frustrating when I get one-off lessons like that. If I don't get a string of students, you know, it's people think that, okay, I just have to turn on my computer at 6 o'clock. It doesn't work that way. You know, having a client at 6 to 7 really puts a limit to where I could be at 5:30, at 5:45. I can't be out there taking a walk, can't be out there walking really slowly because I'm depressed and all that. And so oftentimes, I would hope the students could understand if I'm like 1 minute, 2 minutes late. No, they call incessantly when it gets close, right? If my Wi-Fi jams up for whatever reason, not very much understanding, right? At the same time, when the student shows up 5 minutes late, they still expect an hour. And I just can't imagine it playing out that way in Taiwan, or when I was, you know, I spent some time living in the Rocky Mountains, and I just can't imagine my clients behaving like that in the Rockies, right? Certainly they wouldn't think that I was getting some kind of sexual favor. All right, so in just 2 weeks, it made me realize how badly we treat each other here in Seattle.